Hi everybody, happy Sunday. This is Geraldine again. I hope you're all having an incredible week. And it's been quite a week with a lot of news and exciting things happening recently. So today I wanted to work on self-love primarily, of course, and we're going to be focusing on intuition, trusting our intuition, especially when we're coming into difficult choices in our life. How do we trust our intuition? Now, intuition is one of the most important tools that we need to focus on when it comes to working on ourselves. So as we are going through this process of ascension, as we are healing, as we are moving through the different changes that ascension brings to us, we have to be able to navigate that coming from our true authentic core. And sometimes, because of the programming that we have undergone for such a long time since childhood, that's difficult. And it's difficult to trust what we need and what we don't need anymore. And that's something that we really need to work through. And one of the things that I would like to share with you is a really powerful technique to assist you in helping you to navigate the choppy waters of intuition. When you're new to trusting your intuition, sometimes it becomes very difficult to listen to that voice because we're not used to it. And oftentimes the message will come through, a bodily reaction. For example, you're going to get anxiety, or something will come up to you that will promote you to have a second chance, a second choice, a second expression of what you are about to make a decision on. So it's really important to kind of touch in with yourself, to navigate and to trust the messages that come up. And through that, you start training yourself to kind of pick and choose which one of those are going to be the messages that you're going to be receiving. We all receive messages in a very different way. Some of us, we receive messages through through very clear signs, like we see something that reminds us of something that's close to us, like our spirit animal, or we see a star, or we see, something like that. But when we start having a dialect with, the world around us and our intuitive abilities, then we can start asking to be shown signs. And that's something that we can also play with and practice with. And the important thing that's happening there is that your subconscious mind is the strongest creator, of course. So everything that you're going to be creating is coming from that subconscious mind that is creating all of the things around you. And so through this work, you have the ability of tapping in to that information as it comes in. Now, a lot of people have been writing me about changes that have been occurring and how to know whether the changes that are coming in are something that's productive for them, for their ascension, for their work. And this is where intuition plays a very powerful and important role. Okay, so training ourselves to become intuitive is actually our #1 thing that we need to focus on in the spiritual realm, our intuition, because our intuition is our strongest navigation. It is our true eyes. Okay, we focus on our physical eyes that see the external world around us, but learning how to utilize our true eyes, which are our senses, and our ability to perceive the silent and subtle messages that the universe is sending us, that is really the most powerful thing that we need to utilize. In our reality, where there's a lot of deception, there's a lot of facades and illusions of things, of structures, of systems, of programs that are constantly brainwashing us to feel and think that things are operating in a certain way. Our intuition is the most important tool that we need to tap into, especially in this time. And the reason why is because when we don't tap into our inner voice, into what our true body is telling us, you see, our mind, because it's so occupied with everything that we are experiencing externally, then we are externalizing our experience, and we are depending on the external to provide us with answers, solutions, signs, and everything to help us understand what's happening around us. But what happens is that since a lot of these things externally are manicured in a way to kind of help us see things and to have a very specific view of life and a perception of things, we need to understand that having a very strong internal guidance system is imperative to looking at these things that we're being offered and having a way of perceiving them and processing them through a new filtration system that comes from ultimate truth. And the only way that we are going to become that filtration system for truth is by cleaning out old programs that don't serve us. Number one. Number two, purifying the body and the mind from constant programming like television, radio, all of those signals that are being emitted into us through our eyes, through our skin, through our entire body, because our entire body is a sponge for information. You know, all of that we are perceiving is now coming in through filters, and those filters are based on our past, our experiences since childhood. So what needs to occur is that all of these messages coming in from outside that are coded with information, with subliminal messages, with a lot of controlling energies that are subtly shifting and changing our emotions constantly. And all of this is done through vibrational frequency. So the radio, the television, you know, social media, our cell phones, and beyond that, you know, all of the things that are surrounding us, there's a very strong network of information that is cross-sectioning us every moment of our day when we are outside in the city, when we are at work. There's a lot of things going on, and all of those things are encoded with a lot of information that are shifting and moving us in different ways that we may not be aware of. So our intuition and our focus on connecting with ourselves and how we feel every moment of the day is very important to navigate that. Okay, because the subconscious mind is what creates. So if we are not conscious of our emotions at any given time, if we're not conscious of our experience, and we are somehow being shifted emotionally and we end up with emotions and feelings that may not be our own, things become confusing, we become stressed out, irritated, anxious, afraid, so many different a spectrum of emotions that are caused from fear-based programming. And a lot of this, unfortunately, in our day and age is imposed upon us from our environment. So we must learn how to disconnect from those constant streams of information, of false information, so that we can tap into our truth. And our true experience, when we do that, we're going to notice that, number one, it's a lot less static. There's not a whole lot of energy, busy energy coming around. Number two, when we are connected to source, when we have our own alignment, our own balance in our body and our mind, it is more calm. Things that are urgent, things that are rushed, things that are causing us to feel afraid and moving in a direction of stress in anything, whether it's spiritual, emotional, physical, all of those things are not of a pure connection to source. And what I mean by that is that source is the integration of all things, right? It is positive and negative charge. It is this balance between duality. It is the integration. It is everything and nothing. And it is like a 0 point of all of these aspects of reality. And within that pure consciousness, we are barely grasping a very small percentage of that information. And the ability to grasp that pure consciousness mindset is the ability to have a very broad overview of everything, a very balanced perspective. So it's not coming from judgment, it's not coming from fear, it's not coming from anger, from anxiety, from need, from desire. Okay, it's not coming from those places that we often tend to come from subconsciously. Okay, and I really want you to check in with yourself throughout your day to notice where we are navigating things, because a lot of times we don't realize where things are coming from. We think that we're coming from the highest vibration. We think that we're coming from a positive place. But when you start looking at where you're actually coming from, there's some aspects out there that we need to dissect. And that's where a lot of people get confused and overwhelmed. And ultimately, to navigate that in the most positive and supportive way possible, the most important state to be in, the most powerful state to be in, is in a state of neutrality. Because neutrality is inclusive of all things, and at the same time, it is nothing, just like the concept of source, which is the essence of all things, the fabric of which everything is made from. And so if we are balanced and living through that constant state of neutrality, then we are encompassing many different perspectives, not just one. And that is a very powerful state to be in. It is also the state of flow, as they call it. And the state of flow means that we are in connection with everything and we are just observing, more observing than judging. And that's very difficult. I had the opportunity this week to go to an ecstatic dance event. And I had a lot of anxiety. I found myself having a lot of anxiety going there because I'm not used to these social gatherings anymore. It's been years since I've been to these kinds of social gatherings like this. And it's been a long time, and I mean like, entertainment-wise, like dancing and clubbing and partying. And I thought it was going to be something similar to that. But it was actually something very different and very beautiful, very interesting. It was an interesting experience because we seem to have a certain anxiety to connection with people, and to be open and raw and vulnerable. And vulnerability happens when we let our guards down and when we connect with people through our eyes. Okay, our eyes are the window to our soul. Alba Weinman always says that in her regressions. And it's true, because through our eyes is really where we have our entire essence. Our soul is mirrored through those eyes. And it's through our eyes that we are able to see through people. Okay, we very rarely take the time to look at people in the eyes and to kind of open dialect from that level, from a level of non-judgment, from a level of not expecting anything in return. And because of our very heavy programming, a lot of us feel that we always need to have an exchange that results in something. We always expect something. We always want to have a result with that relationship or with that energetic exchange. And so that's something that we want to try to pull away from, in a sense. And that would help us with ourselves and our own personal image, because a lot of our perceptions of ourselves currently are based on our programming from the past. And so as we clean out all of those perceptions and programmings, what we're going to find is that sometimes who we are now is not really the person that we want to show the world, or it's not really the person that we are most authentic with ourselves. So our inner self is different than what we are expressing to the world outside. And so this is very interesting. It's an interesting realization to have. And when we navigate this conversation with ourselves, we start to open some doors. And sometimes it's treacherous because we can get into some very painful aspects of ourselves that resonate with past experiences that have caused us trauma or pain or suffering. And so, of course, our protective shield that we constantly have on us is kind of blocking those emotions and those exchanges from occurring again. However, what we don't notice is that is almost like a subliminal language, a subliminal coding of our essence. Okay, all of those experiences. So in actuality, what's really happening is that your entire essence is radiating that information. So whatever you are attracting in frequency, because that's the frequency that you are emitting, is now matching those realities, instead of your facade that is protecting and covering, those pain bodies. It is actually very open, and it is actually communicating to the universe. And so what you are going to be receiving is something in mirror to what you are feeling. So that's where we start again seeing those patterns in our relationships and whatnot. So that being said, this journey of self-discovery, this journey of connecting with your intuition and connecting with the information that we are, who we are and how we became who we are, is extremely, extremely imperative in your healing. And also with trusting your intuition, because when you are not connected to that core essence of who you are, with the truth of who you are, that's where the message and your core becomes confusing. You're not sure. You don't know who you are. You don't know how you ended up being who you are. Okay? So when we have to make very important life decisions that are urging us to change our life or to move and change things, then we are unsure. And we're afraid of making the decisions because most of our decisions are based on being afraid of failure, afraid of making a mistake, afraid of being vulnerable. So this week in our self-love work, I want to ask you and invite you to exploring vulnerability, okay? Exploring, showing those soft, open wounds that we have within us. Because those wounds are actually the gold. They are the most important part of our growth, of our development as humans. And this human body that we so protect, these human emotions that we try to cover and conceal and not show to anyone, you know, it is actually the pure essence of being a human, of our humanity. All our emotions that we are experiencing, all of the things that we live in our life are a testament to our journey, to our wisdom. And so I invite you this week to wear your wounds in a way where you are not hiding, covering, or concealing them, number one, from yourself. Because some of us are at a point in our life where it's very difficult to even look at the wounds that we carry in ourselves. But I invite you to, when we are approaching, and this is going to happen to you, this happens to all of us, because in our journey of ascension that we are in right now, because we are being mirrored all of the deep aspects of ourselves, we are being put in situations that are calling us to address those aspects that we are hiding or we are concealing. So it's really important to address them and to feel them and to explore them before we start attracting experiences that will force us to explore them and navigate those aspects. And because we are in a matrix universe that focuses on creating a very low vibration experiences, okay, please understand, the matrix universe that we live in this particular reality, is triggering constantly this change for shift. And it does that for many reasons. It does it for the reason of this silent energy that is feeding off our negative and lower vibrations. But also, in our evolution, it is a natural aspect of evolution, okay? All the pain that we go through and the experiences that we feel we have to navigate through in order to transcend is necessary. And so, in a way, pain and emotions are our friends. They are our tools to help us reach the next level of understanding. And in that, becoming brave and navigating those experiences from a place of discovery, of inquiry instead of fear, is incredibly powerful and incredibly liberating. And it's the number one thing that really assisted me in my own personal self-love journey. Okay, I have gone through many, many deep mountains and valleys in this journey of self-love. And it took me down to the very core essence of who I was and peeling all those layers of pain programming, of fear, of being afraid of my own darkness. And I found that that was one of the biggest factors that hindered me from trusting my intuition, because I felt that I wasn't worthy of that expression. I wasn't worthy of experiencing things, of trusting who I was, because I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust the world around me. And you see, that is one of the biggest blockages that we have. So today we're going to do an exercise that's going to help us navigate that fear, that inner fear that we have. So I want you all to invite you to get really nice and comfortable. So we're going to inhale deeply and exhale. We're going to visualize the center of the earth, and you're going to ground yourself down to the center of the earth. So send your grounding cord. As we inhale deeply and exhale, we're going to put our sphere as we own our space. I want you to tap into your body. And in order to help us do this, we can do a quick body scan. So I want you to visualize from the center of the earth, you're going to pull up a gold energy that comes in through the toes, through the ankles, through the shifts, through the knees, through the thighs, up in through the hips, to the solar plexus, the heart center. Taking a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. As we become more connected with our body, we're going to go up to the neck and the head and the face. Now that we are fully aware of our physical body, I want you to create a sphere around your body, which is your protection, and it's also your empowerment. So visualize that sphere around you. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to go deeper. I want you to focus on the root chakra at the base of your spine. You're going to close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. You're going to go up to your second chakra, the orange light located right below the navel. You're going to close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. You're going to go up to your heart, your solar plexus, the center of your body. You're going to close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. Noticing the calmness and the silence that comes over the body when we disconnect from our connection to the physical plane around us. We're going to go up to the heart center. I want you to open that chakra as wide as possible, front and back. Going to go up to our throat chakra. I want you to open that chakra as wide as possible, front and back. Opening the center of communication. You're going to go up to your third eye. You're going to open that chakra as wide as possible, front and back, opening your center of intuition. You're going to go up to your crown chakra, your center for manifestation. I want you to see a blank white screen in front of you, and you're going to see a color. And this color represents your highest vibration. Go ahead and take a look at what color do you see. Okay, this is going to be the color of your highest expression. So we're going to set that intention in all aspects as per usual. This is our basic grounding and alignment. Okay, so you're going to go up into your wheel. You're going to enter your color into the first section, which is your abundance, setting the intention. The next is love. Okay, so you have a wheel, and I'm naming out the different sections of the wheel that you are going to fill in with your creative color, with your highest expression. The next is going to be relationships, family, friends, colleagues. The next is going to be family. Fill that in. The next is going to be consciousness. Fill that in. The next is going to be health. Fill in. And as you do, I want you to visualize every cell of your body coming into balance. Any ailments in your body, any pains that you feel, visualize eliminating them from the body down to the center of the earth, completely eliminating them from your body. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. The next is going to be our self-love, our connection to ourselves. Fill that in. And finally, your life purpose. Fill that in. You are grounded down to the center of the earth. You have a protective shield around your body as you are owning your space. Your first 3 chakras are closed and your top 3 chakras are opened. You are shining your manifestation in alignment with all aspects of your life. I want you to visualize a very healing color. What is the color for healing for you? Pick a color. It can be any color that feels real to you, that feels safe, loving, nurturing. Pick a color that is your favorite color, and this is going to be your healing color. I want you to visualize from the center of the earth a powerful wave of this color rushing up in through the earth, up into the body to create a vortex in the core of your body with this healing color. Okay, creating a very powerful vortex. From the universe, from source, I want you to visualize a powerful wave of gold energy coming down through the skies, through the roof of your house, down the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with that gold healing energy. Okay? Mix that healing energy with that source energy at the core of your body. It is imperative that we understand how to work with the healing energies that are available to us in this world. Okay? In this reality, we have a lot more power than we know. And our understanding of the tools that we have around us is imperative to our ascension, to the healing of this world, and to our transformation. So become conscious of these tools and utilize them. Don't be afraid to use them. So mixing source energy with your healing intention is a powerful combination of information and energy that you are going to run through your body to cleanse, purify, heal, renew. So now that you have a vortex, so you have these two colors swirling in the center of your body, I want you to create a stream of elimination. So from the core, you're going to send down to the center of the earth the combination of source energy and your healing energy. So send down that combination as it is a channel of elimination for your body. Everything that we need to eliminate, clean out, let go, is going to go down that channel. Okay? So inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to go back to our source, which is the core of our body now. We have created a function here of like a fountain of energy that we're going to distribute through the 3 dimensions of the body. So we opened a channel of elimination. We are now going to go back and we're going to pull up the combination of those 2 up our spine. And from the crown of your head, I want you to visualize spilling out like a fountain of energy, this healing color and source energy. So go ahead and send that combination through the outside of your sphere, coating the outside, healing the illusion, cutting cords that are toxic connecting to your body from the outside of your energetic body. So visualize coating the outside of your body with those 2 colors. Thank you so much for joining, and feel free to share this message. Thank you for sharing. We're going to go back to the solar plexus now. You're going to pull up that combination of healing colors up your spine, and from your arms, I want you to visualize from your hands filling the inside of your sphere. Okay? The inside of your protection with this incredible healing combination of source energy and your healing color. So when we're healing, when we're working on especially our self-love and our inner work like this, it's very important to utilize this kind of healing energy. It's different from running energy, which I usually teach. As we fill the inside of our sphere now, I want you to visualize this healing energy and source energy penetrating in through every pore, every flesh, every muscle of the body, down to the bone, down to the cellular level, transforming all darkness into pure white light. As you inhale deeply and exhale, I want you to absorb this healing energy inside of the body. Absorb it completely, allowing yourself to take in the healing that you are providing for yourself. Okay? Restore your body, love your body, connect with your body. Don't be afraid of connecting with this energy. Hi, Leonardo. Thank you. Welcome. As you are healing and absorbing this energy into the body, we are focusing on our self-love and our healing and our connection. Taking a moment to inhale deeply and exhale, allowing the body to absorb this healing, recharging ourselves, pulling from the infinite powerful source energy as it runs through our physical human body, made of this source energy. We are recharging, healing, cleansing. So now that you are here, I want you to start thinking about all the things that have caused you anxiety over the past 24 hours. And I want you to start looking through the past week and the past month, the moments where you feel that you wanted to express yourself in a certain way, or trust your intuition in a certain way, but you stopped and you didn't. I want you to tap into that moment when you are experiencing some resistance with your own expression, okay? Whether that's in the office, working with people, whether you start feeling insecure in a crowd of people, in a party, in a gathering, in a networking event, whether you're at home with your family and you pull back from expressing something that you really need to express to them, whether you are having dialogue with yourself and instead of acting on your intuition, you pull back. I want you to go to those moments where you feel that you need to pull back on your expression, okay? It's really important that we target this aspect. And notice also, become aware of how often we do this, okay? Where are we living unconsciously? Where are we living, I like to say irresponsibly in a way, because, you know, when we don't trust our intuition, we kind of just go in with the flow without being conscious of how it's going to truly affect us and how we are dishonoring our needs and our true essence, okay? And so trusting that intuition is important. So I want you to go to those moments where you do not trust your intuition or you felt that you couldn't. Inhale deeply and exhale. I want you to review those memories. You can go to the past week, the past month. And I want you to observe yourself like a third-person perspective, looking down at yourself interacting wherever you are in that memory. And I want you to notice that what is happening here, okay? Whether it's you interacting with someone or you about to make a decision on your own or in a group of people, what is the first emotion that comes into your body? Tap into that. As soon as that resistance comes up, what is the first thing that we're feeling? Okay, now that we have identified that feeling, I want you to check in with your body. Where in your body do you feel that emotion the most? Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your back? Where is it in your body that you are feeling this kind of resistance the strongest? I want you to take note of that because it's very important. There's a lot of information that your body holds, and especially when we start to feel and target emotions in the body, we're going to notice that there is so much to learn from that. Number one, the location in which this energy is stagnant, where we feel it the most, is where it's stagnant, where it's not moving, where it's stuck. And so that helps us understand how we process things. Number two, the part of the body that is stuck in is in connection with our chakra system. So wherever the pain or the stagnant energy is overlapping in our chakra system, it shows us where energy is congested in reference to the information of that chakra. So for example, if it's your stomach area, you feel it the most, this is where we have our anxiety, this is where we have fear, and this is the center of our emotions, of our empowerment. So anytime that we start to feel insecure, we feel powerless, we feel incapable of expression, of empowering movements, of change. And so we're caught here. And so we feel that stagnant energy there. And anytime that we start to feel that emotion again, this is where we're going to feel it in our core. Okay, that's just an example. It can be anywhere. It can be in your heart center. And the third thing that's very important about that is that we're going to notice that with our relationships with the people that we are interacting in this particular scenario, that is where we are cording to them energetically, because all our experiences are being mirrored through our relationships and through our experiences to the world around us. So this is how we start to understand how we are relating with the world around us. This is how we start to understand where our perception is filtering through when things are happening. And so we start undoing the mysticism behind our pain body, behind our blockages. They become very apparent to us now. This is how we identify blockages. So as you notice in your body where you feel that emotion, I want you to notice the strength of that emotion. And for a moment, I want you to fully feel that emotion. I want you to be 100% present with that resistance to your intuition. Go ahead and tap into that. Feel that emotion. I'm gonna do this exercise with you to show you my process and how I go through it. I'm gonna take, for example, the ecstatic dance event that I went through this week. And so the first emotion that comes into my body is anxiety. Number one, anxiety of being seen, of being vulnerable, anxiety of feeling, of looking silly in that expression and in that interaction. And also I felt an anxiety because oftentimes when I come into these spiritual groups and gatherings, when they're not from the highest vibration, sometimes, there's a lot of this very silly insecurities from a lot of people, a lot of judgment that are looking and observing for the perfect image of spirituality. And so that I find that to be very false and very fake and inauthentic. And so that causes me anxiety. So that's the first emotion. And for me, I felt it here in my core. So now that I feel this emotion, as I become completely present with this anxiety, what does it cause me to feel? I want you to start looking at what other emotions come up for you. Okay? So for example, in an acceptance of yourself, a judgment of yourself, insecurities, fear, anxiety. Okay? So I want you to notice what are those emotions that come up. And I want you to notice what is the strongest emotion of those. So I'm going to narrow it down to fear for me, obviously. And so as we get down to that pinpoint of fear, I want you to feel the emotion of fear in your body. And I know it doesn't feel comfortable. I share that with you. But the more that we resist feeling this emotion, the stronger and more powerful it becomes in our essence. Because instead of releasing it, we are packing it away, storing it away in the information of our body. And that information gets stored in our muscles, in the subconscious mind, in every cell of the body. It is becoming a part of ourselves. And we don't want it to become a part of ourselves, because then it becomes the very like the language of our vibration, of our frequency, and we don't want it to be our frequency. So as we feel it, we are opening that emotion, releasing the information that is tied and stagnant in that space. So go ahead and become present with that emotion. And as you become present with that emotion, start navigating the possibilities, okay? So what is it that you needed in order to not feel that fear in that moment, that anxiety, insecurities, mistrust, okay? I'm going to play this through with you. And for example, what I needed was to trust myself more, to trust my abilities to be protected and to be neutral to any kind of trigger that may be around me. I also needed more rest, more nurturing to my body, to have the balance and strength to be able to navigate a very high stress environment with a lot of people. Yes, I'm an empath, and a lot of you may be an empath, and so sometimes we have anxiety when we go out into crowded spaces. And when we don't rest, our system is kind of weakened, and we have to be able to come from that neutrality that helps us navigate those stressing moments in our life. So, for example, what did you need? Did you need more love, more protection, more acceptance of yourself, more neutrality instead of coming from fear? And so I want you to go through that role play of what it is that you needed in that moment to not feel that fear, okay? And it's going to give you a lot of information about what you need in general in your life. Because a lot of times when we start coming into the similar experience, we're going to come right back into these emotions. So now I want you to select one of the things that you needed the most in that moment. And for this exercise, we're going to utilize a combination of intention and color therapy, because color and intention, it's a language, it's a vibration, it's information. And so as we set the intention that this color is going to represent this healing information, that is exactly what we are bringing into our body. So I want you to select this need. So did you need more love? Did you need more trust, more connection? Select a color that represents that healing energy, okay? And I want you to select that color. And from source, I want you to visualize a powerful wave of this color, of this information, of this healing energy to enter into your sphere and cover your entire body in this moment, here and now, and in your memory. So in the memory of yourself in a past situation, you're going to surround yourself in a golden sphere of light. You're going to fill yourself up with this healing color. And I want you to see yourself, watch yourself in your memory transform. How do you change when you are provided with what you are needed? Okay? And as you watch yourself coming from that very constricted, tight, fearful space, I want you to watch yourself, how you flourish, how you expand and transform through that new energy, a more expansive energy. As you inhale deeply and exhale, we are providing ourselves healing, we are providing ourselves love and compassion, and we are opening these gateways to communication. Very good. So as you absorb this healing, I want you to see the person that you were interacting with in that moment, or the people or the crowd around you. I want you to see them in front of you. Whoever they are, if it's one person, if it's a lot of people, see them in front of you. And I want you to notice that you have a cord connecting you to them, to this experience. Where in your body do you see that cord? Go ahead and take a look at that. You're going to cut the cord on their end, cut the cord on your end. I want you to inhale deeply, taking back your life force, reabsorbing the life force exchange that is happening in this interaction. It is imperative to our healing and to our transformation, and also creating neutrality between this exchange, okay? We have to start understanding how important our exchanges are. We go through life without thinking twice about our exchanges, whether it's emotional, whether it's a look, whether it's an experience that we share. We are exchanging information, exchanging energy, and when we are not conscious of that exchange, we are becoming drained. We are allowing toxic cords to connect to us. And so that is causing a lot of drainage of vital energy force. We become exhausted, tired, irritated, angry, upset, sick over time. Giovanni, James, welcome. And so this is really important to understand that. So cut that cord and take back in your energy. Okay? Inhaling deeply and exhaling. I want you to let these people or this person leave your space now. I want you to literally visualize them leaving your space. Okay? And now you are left here with yourself, healing inside of that sphere. I want you to go back to yourself. Okay? Healing in that sphere. And I want you to notice what has changed with yourself there. And we're going to do this special healing exercise that is very powerful when it comes to our self-love. I want you to shine your crown light with your creative color on top of yourself here, healing in this space. And you're going to see a contract. This contract represents our abandonment of ourself, our fear, our inability to trust in our intuition. Anytime that we our bodies and our emotions are walking out into this world, into experiences, and we put ourselves in experiences that we are fearful of or that are outside our comfort zone, but then we abandon ship, right? We emotionally check out of our body and we leave our body there to experience things without being fully conscious, without fully integrating the experience. And so that is what I call abandoning ship. And from an energetic perspective, what this looks like, literally, is a human person and their essence leaves their body and it's hovering above the body, somewhere above the body, okay? And this is how people go into zombie mode. This is how people start to feel you know, they just kind of go with the flow and they end up making decisions and choices that don't resonate with their true authentic self. This is how we end up doing those things, okay? And so what we need to do is to re-embody our essence. We have to be present, consciously present, and embodying all of those uncomfortable experiences that we're going through, all of those things that we're resisting to feel. We have to feel them, okay? Because when you're not there to feel them, then your poor body is becoming a lone ship without a driver driving itself, and then it can crash into all kinds of things, it can pick up all kinds of things, and we are a mess. So this is the basics of loving yourself, is to be in your body, to be brave enough to experience difficult emotions and experiences that oftentimes we fear, okay? So all of those patterns and programs that were that we are programmed since childhood to leave our space, okay, when we start to experience, and some of us have trained ourselves to do that because of trauma, because of painful experiences with family, with the people we trust and love the most, with our family and friends, and even with ourselves, that we end up making choices that we hate ourselves for later, that we reject ourselves, that we resent ourselves for. And we made those choices because we abandoned ship, okay? So there's a process here that's very important, and it has to do with self-forgiveness as well. But I want you to see that contract, because that contract represents those programs. Any time in our life that we have allowed ourselves to do that to ourselves, because we are responsible for our actions and our experiences, it is in that book. I want you to notice it, just observe it. Is it big or is it small? Okay. And as you notice that contract, I want you to destroy that contract completely. As we no longer want to live our lives from this old information, these old truths that no longer serve us. We want to replace that with a new way of thinking. As we are aligning ourselves with our 5D bodies, our 5D thinking, 5D body, mind, and soul, we have to release these programs from our older dimensions of ourself. So go ahead and shine your light on top of that contract and destroy it completely. Inhale deeply and exhale. I want you to notice if you feel resistance to letting go of that, where in your body, okay? This is total body awareness training. So get used to the inquiry, constant inquiry. What am I feeling? How does this feel? What does this mean to me? Start having that dialect constantly so that you know who you are. Okay? As you eliminate that contractual agreement, if it becomes difficult, you can visualize and imagine anything that feels real to you to destroy that contract. And for some of you that are watching here and now, there are some heavy cords that are connecting to family. So I want you to notice those cords and destroy those cords completely as you see those connections that go down to your essence, because these are patterns that are cycling through your family as well, of course. And you're going to destroy all of that, okay? Trust what you see. Trust your intuition. You are seeing correct. You are seeing right. And if you are seeing family members come up, I want you to see the family members that are tied to this experiences and these blockages in front of you. And we are going to cut cords with them as well. So cut cords with them on their end. Cut cords on your end. You're going to inhale deeply, taking back your energy, releasing that old information. Okay, creating neutrality. Inhale deeply and exhale. We're going to clean the slate, make sure that every last drop of that has left our space, and we come back to ourselves healing here. And now you notice a real transformation with this former self. I want you to notice what has changed now that they have received that healing. A lot of times they look brighter. They look more expansive, more open, more happier, more integrated, okay? So notice that change. Do you see the power of this kind of information? This experience is so important. So we are going to reintegrate this fractal of ourselves. So you're going to see a cord connecting you to them. We're going to cut that cord on them. This is yourself and yourself. You're going to inhale, reintegrating this self, this new healed self, okay? As we integrate that fractal into our body, we start to feel more expansive, more secure, more confident. It's almost as if a piece of our soul has returned to our body. And I'm here to tell you that's exactly what's happening, because we are multidimensional beings. And as we are interacting with the world around us, our body, which is very strong, is also very delicate in a way, okay? We are fragile beings. And even though it's a fragility that happens with unconscious actions, multidimensional self, and when our aspect of ourself goes through a traumatic situation, like for example, the ecstatic dance, trust me, it was a beautiful experience. I had a wonderful time. But the fact that I tapped into that energy, to that information, really allowed me an opportunity to explore those parts of myself. And we can't just ignore that. We have to honor that, because that is our matrix, that is our world communicating with us what our pure essence needs to ascend. Okay? That is true ascension. This is ascension training. So every opportunity in our life is an opportunity to change, transform, and heal. Take those opportunities. Don't let them go. They are the gold of your existence. Okay? As you go ahead and reintegrate that self, we're going to go back to our root chakra. And you're going to open that root chakra back into a balanced state. You're going to go up to the sacral chakra. You're getting disconnected there. Sacral chakra, you're going to open it back into a balanced state. You're going to go up to your solar plexus. You're going to open that chakra back into a balanced state. You're going to go up to your heart chakra. You're going to close that chakra back into balance. So now you have red, orange, yellow, green in perfect balance up your body and your spine, front and back. Okay? Very conscious of that balance, because the balance is not just about colors and visualizing the chakras. It's about emotions. It's about perception. It's about frequency. That's what you are balancing. You're going to go up to your throat and you're going to close that chakra back into a balanced state. You're going to go up to your indigo chakra. You're going to close that chakra back into balanced state. Balancing our intuition, our ability to communicate and express, our self-love and our connection to the world, our emotions, our creative energies, our giving and receiving, our balance, our sexuality, and our home and our security. The root chakra is your home base, okay? Balancing fear programs. So this is what you are balancing when you are aligning your chakras, okay? You're going to go up to your crown chakra here, and you're going to send that up into the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Go ahead and turn that on. As you train your body to withhold higher strands of information, higher strands of vibration in the body, we are aligning and opening those channels, those gates. We have to train ourselves. If we want to come into 5D, if we want to come into 5, 6, 7D, which we are open to at every moment of our experience here, we just have to tap into that frequency with our body, mind, and soul. This is how we start to train ourselves, okay? So as you inhale deeply and exhale, you are grounded down to the center of the earth. You are protected in your sphere of light. I want you to eliminate all of those thoughts and emotions from the past week. Let go of everything. I want you to visualize dirt or clouds that are in your space or static, and you're going to send it down to the center of the earth as you neutralize your space, body, mind, and soul, cleaning out all of that. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. Okay, feeling lighter, feeling better, feeling more movement, coming into a more neutral state. We're going to tap into joy and love. I want you to feel love, and I want you to repeat after me. Okay? I accept myself even with all my imperfections. I embrace all aspects of myself, including my shadow. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am the master of my body and my mind. I am loving, loved, and lovable. Yes, you are. I love myself unconditionally. Unconditionally. No matter what I do, what I have or haven't done, I love myself. I give myself the freedom to be my authentic self. Okay? I give myself the freedom and the permission to express the highest expression of myself. And you are repeating after me. I give myself, I am safe and exactly where I need to be. Okay? I am safe and exactly where I need to be. Very good. So as you accept these beautiful words into your body and yourself, as you vibrationally speak, as you intentionally intend this energy into your space, into who you are, you become it. As you inhale deeply and exhale, I want you to feel unconditional love for your body. We're going to start at the toes. We're going to go up to the ankles. I want you to feel love for your ankles. Okay, just feel love and appreciation. Go up to your shins and your calves. I want you to feel love for your shins and your calves. Going up to your knees, I want you to feel love for your knees. Going up to your thighs. Going up to your hips, going up to your sexual organs, feeling love, acceptance, no shame, gratitude. Going up to your organs, to your stomach, to your spleen, to your liver, to your intestines, to your kidneys and your liver. Feeling love for your body. All of these organs are wrapped in love. And when they are healing. They are fully healing, because that is the vibration of health and life. When we go up into our lungs, feeling love in our chest, in your breasts, going up to your neck and your shoulders and your arms, feeling love. Gratitude. Down to your fingertips, feeling love. Going up to your neck and your face and your hair, feel love. Acceptance and appreciation. As you inhale deeply, we are inhaling love into the body, cleansing, purifying, healing the body. Creating a home, a temple for your higher self to enter and act and express from neutrality, balance, and expansion. So as you come back into the room, I want you to open your eyes. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today on this journey to self-love and healing. And I want to thank you and I honor you so much for being here, for working on yourself, for taking the time to do this work. Yes, it takes time. And sometimes it's difficult to get into these spaces, but it's really important. Anyone that's feeling anxiety, fear, eliminate that from your body and start accepting yourself and being yourself, okay? Life is very short, and these are the important, valuable things that we need to accomplish in this journey, okay? I send you all my love, and I hope to see you soon. Have an incredible week. Much love to you. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining, everyone. Nikki, James, oh, all my love to you. Jessica, thank you so much for being here. Loretta, Nikki, Giovanni, Leonardo, Angelica, Ruth, Erica, Cameron. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. So much love. See you soon. Bye-bye.